A welder named Barbie? You heard that right. Today, I'm thrilled to speak to Barbie Parsons, known as Barbie the Welder. She's a proud third generation craftsman who has dedicated her life to honing her chosen craft, metal fabrication. Today, you will hear her story, how she overcame the naysayers, followed her own path, what happened with LinkedIn, and why she is living inside a dream she had no idea was possible. Help me welcome Barbie the Welder. Right. Great to have you here with us.
Oh, super grateful to be here, Dave. Thank you so much for inviting me on.
Absolutely. It's been a long time coming. Just take a couple of minutes and introduce yourselves to the audience, and then we'll get right to the wisdom.
Oh my gosh. I am Barbie the Welder. I'm a full time metal sculptor. I have been welding for 17 years. I got into welding in order to become a full time sculptor, which I have a little bit more than 10 years as a full time sculptor.
Hmm.
And in that time, I've actually also written 6 books, and 3 about how to weld art, and 3 on just how to craftsmanship of self, and have taught like thousands of people how to weld through my YouTube channel, and have sold art all over the world. It is again, I you hit the nail on the head. I'm living inside a dream that I had no idea was possible, and it's all started with welding.
That is awesome, and I look forward to learning more about that as we go on. And so the show, as always, is broken into 3 segments. Segment one is the art of welding and skilled trades. Segment two, we're going to talk about pursuing your dreams, and segment three, we're going to talk about building your own platform. If everybody's ready, let's get into it. So, segment one, the art of welding and skilled trades. How did you first get interested in welding, and what inspired you to turn it into art?
Well, going back, my dad was a diesel mechanic when I was growing up. My dad was actually a bunch of different things growing up, but what I knew him best for was a diesel mechanic. And my first love, besides wanting to be an astronaut and play basketball for the Harlem Globetrotters, was auto mechanics. And so at 15 years old, I knew I wanted to be an auto mechanic. I love to wheel cars, and I love to wrench on them, and just I love the smell of the gas and the tires and the oil and just all of the things. And so I went to BOCES and dealt with a bunch of sexism. It took me a long time, but my senior year I finally got into BOCES for auto mechanics. I was in the industry for 7 years, did everything from selling cars, selling cars to like changing tires and batteries, and brake inspections. I worked as service writer, worked in a couple of speed shops, but dealt with a lot of sexism. Got out, worked for myself for a few years, did some pizza delivering in there too, and ended up hauling scrap metal and selling stuff on eBay back in 2005.
Hmm.
And sat down with my neighbors one day in that, and was watching the movie Castaway starring Tom Hanks. And there is this woman in the beginning of this movie. It's like a 15-second clip where she is welding these angel wings, and she's got her hood down. It's dark. There's arcs, sparks flying everywhere, and it spoke to my soul. I knew in that moment, which made no sense whatsoever,
Hmm.
that I was meant to be a metal sculptor. I was supposed to be doing this. I had never welded before. I didn't have any art background. I didn't have any artistic abilities like that I could think of. Like it just didn't make sense. But I knew that that's what I was meant to do, and I went after it. And it's profound where I'm sitting here today, 17 years later. However, yeah, it
Yeah.
was it's definitely been a so weird. What a long strange trip it's been.
That's a great story, and I can't say now. I have to go back and watch the movie to see that part, because I can't say that I ever even noticed that. But I'm certainly familiar with your sculptures of angel wings that you've done since then. So That's very cool to know where that started, and that just something that I'm sure it had some meaning in the story somewhere, but that it called you into what has become your career now. That's amazing. So you mentioned some sexism issues. What challenges did you face as a woman entering this traditionally male dominated field?
Well, if you're talking about auto mechanics, it was partly my immaturity and not just ignoring the noise as far as the sexism went,
Mm.
instead of just staying true to what I knew was right for me. Because I was in love with auto mechanics. It was just, I say love and like I'm obsessed. It was everything for me. And I listened to this outside noise, and then just after many years of it, it wore on me. I had a lot of stuff going on emotionally and mentally, so it was like insult to injury,
Hmm.
and it just was like it just became no fun to go to work. When it came to going into welding, I assumed, and this is let's see how many years between it. I don't even know. Don't ask me to math. Several years between it. That probably like 8 or 9 years between when I stopped auto mechanics and went into welding. In welding, it was I showed up to welding. It was just I was depressed. I would, had gone through a gamut of emotional just gobbledygook
Hmm.
that I did to myself. But arriving at welding, I was deeply blessed with a teacher in a class at BOCES. I chose to go to BOCES for it was a VOTAC adult educational education to learn how to weld. Is how I
Yeah.
got in. My teacher was just he taught the way my dad did, very just like don't set yourself on fire. Let's go weld, and like very hands on.
Yeah.
It was perfect. Everything that has happened in this has just been perfect. It's profound how like just the things that have happened to
Yeah.
get me to today. Profound. The teacher, Mr. Ostrom, thank you, Jim. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Was just perfection. The class was, I don't even know, they didn't exist for me. It was like me and welding, and like the teacher would come over every now and then, but there was 11 other people in the class. I never had like, obviously they were wonderful, but I like it was just I settled down into welding and nothing else existed. Like
Hmm.
it was wonderful in getting my first job. I actually didn't know what my next step was after learning to weld, because at the time I was on welfare and government subsidized housing, and was making $10,000 a year to support my then family of five. I
Wow.
didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. I didn't know what my next step was, but I knew that this was what I was supposed to do. And so I was at school, but because I dealt with sexism, when my teacher's like, "Hey, you should check out this company. I think it'd be a good fit." I was like, "No, thanks." Because of dealing with it, I just assumed that this is
Yeah.
what I was going to get in any workforce. I
Sure.
just assumed it would be there. Um, my teacher tried to get me to go to this company a couple of times. It didn't work, and so he took the class on a field trip to this company. And once I saw the machines that were there, what the work that they were doing, it was a custom fabrication shop, like right there in my hometown, like 5 minutes away.
Wow.
Um, it was just I was watching like Biker Build Off on TV and Junkyard Wars, just all these fabrication Monster Garage, all these fabrication shows where they were building and fabricating, and so it was just all this fuel for me. And then I get into this shop, and here's like this 5-axis water jet, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'd fill out an application. Long story short, I get the job there, and it is literally like the most supportive people. They are
Wow.
so happy that I show up with passion and a
Mm.
willingness to learn, and just like I can, I probably barely passed the welding test. And a guy come over and just like, "Hey, try this," and I came over like, "Okay, I tried that," and it worked, because I was definitely like struggling with a couple of parts of it.
Hmm.
And like, while the instructor was gone, this guy's like, "Hey, try this, come back," and I'm like, I was able to get it by the time the guy came back, and he's like, "Is this yours?" I'm like, "No, that's that dude's. This is mine." And he goes, "Okay." And I think it was a test, like looking back to see, I'm
Yeah.
like, one, I'm teachable, and two, I'm honest.
Yep.
And so like it was a perfect fit and go into there, and they just were so supportive,
Mm.
and so many people, so many brilliant craftsmen shared their knowledge with me, and it was again, it couldn't have been more perfect, and I'm super grateful, super grateful. I stand on the shoulders of giants, these men and women who took their precious time and shared it with me, shared their knowledge, and
Hmm.
it's
It's
how
it,
lucky
it
am I?
yeah, I mean it's a great story, and um it's amazing that all those pieces fell together for you, right? That it was a good welding teacher. It wasn't just somebody who decided, hey,
Yeah,
I'm going to make a couple extra bucks teaching a night class, right?
yeah,
And that you had in your own hometown this great environment where you could go and meet more mentors and learn more about the industry in a supportive environment, when it could have easily been something that drove you away, and you never get to this point where you are in your life right now.
very true.
Yeah. Um, so we'll shift gears a little bit. How do you see the role of the skilled trades evolving with this increasingly digital world?
Oh, that's a great question. A tradesman will always be necessary because of the soul that they put into their work. It's wonderful that we're evolving as a this is an industry, because the evolution is just it's so good for us mentally.
Hmm.
It's good for us to have to problem solve how to now live in this new world. They'll always need tradesmen. There's just so much heart that we have that it's just irreplaceable, and you need people to fix these machines too. So it's just going
Right.
to push us to it's going to push us as humans. I love that. I think it's so good for us. It'll push craftsmanship to a level that we've never seen before, because I can speak for myself. It's just that there's just such a joy in that, and knowing that someone can like look at my sculpture and then 3D print it in, I don't know, 3 hours or whatever it takes to 3D print stuff. Um, it's the things that craftsmen make. It has our soul in it,
Yeah.
and I feel like the observer can feel that.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. Not the answer I expected. It it really is a different perspective on how the digital world can interact with the tradespeople. And that you're right that you're never going to replace. I shouldn't say never. Maybe someday, far in the future, robots can replace doing a bunch of things. But if you've ever had an older house, like I have an older house, and you call somebody in to do something, uh, watching them try to problem solve how to work in this house is not something you're going to take a robot and put it in there, right? It's not just like the robot is programmed to lay some new plumbing for me, because they have to figure out what these guys did back in the 40s to put this in, but before they can figure out how to do new plumbing, and robots aren't going to get there anytime soon. um, and so we're going to move into segment two, which is pursuing your dreams. And you've become known as Barbie the Welder, right? How did you develop that personal brand, and what impact do you feel that's had on your career?
Oh man, I got really lucky again. I'm like, all of this is just like it's hard work and luck. It's both. Um, I didn't know, like, so I knew I needed to be a sculptor. I had like gone after that. I got to it. Quit my job as I welded at that company for 5 years. Got my iron, journeyman iron plate and sheet metal, but
Mm.
quit my job to be an artist, and had no idea that I had to sell stuff. I had no idea whatsoever, and so there was a learning curve.
Hmm.
There was a very steep learning curve there, and I'm like, as I just go back mentally into that space, I'm
I,
just like,
I just,
terrifying.
yeah, I just
But
saw you go back there.
uh, so it is. This is just, it's such a personal journey. I didn't know what I didn't know.
Hmm.
So I find this, somehow I find this local entrepreneur group, and it is a gentleman who, he's the lead lawyer in town. He owns this law firm, is like the head lawyer. And then there is a gentleman who owns just owners of big companies in our very small town, and it's companies that I've heard of and I know about, but I never thought about people behind it.
Hmm.
Go to this entrepreneur meeting, and I'm like, the first 3 or 4 meetings, it's literally just a foreign language to me. I have no idea what's going on. They're talking about ROI and all these business terms that I just don't even understand. And all I've got is my business card, and I'm just like, it was actually Wonderland Welding when I started. It was Barbie Parsons, and it was Wonderland Welding. And so Alice in Wonderland. So I hold up my little business card and I go, how can I improve this? That's all I had. That was my only tool, was that one card. And
Mm.
so each month I would go, and um, the gentleman who started the group, Jim, he started calling me Barbie the Welder, and the group as a whole, like just as a nickname. And
Yeah.
then they just start as a community. This group of people are like, you really need to lean into that. Like, you need to understand that. He pulled me out of the meeting, or like after the meeting, pulled me aside one day because they've been trying to talk me into stuff, and I'm very much like, it's Wonderland Welding. I'm married to this. It's Alice in Wonderland. It's the creativity and like the Lewis Carroll, just all of it. Like, I'm in my own little world. So I like that fit really well. And the other girl who's just like, yeah, I have to be a metal sculptor. This makes sense. Um, he pulls me aside and he goes, people will be so much more likely to support you knowing that you are an individual versus you being a company. And
Mm.
so I started putting Barbie the Welder on the cards. And then eventually, like, they really were just like, get rid of it. And so I did. And then I just leaned into it. It became a persona for me after a while. It became,
Yeah.
outside of my shop, I was Barbie Parsons. I had depression. I was what I saw as a failure. I had, at that point, 2 failed marriages. Um, just, and I wasn't doing really good at business either. I was barely just paying my bills, and like I wasn't even paying my bills with money I was making in this career that I'd chosen to quit my job. I've got 2 kids and a mortgage and a Jeep payment. That I just, but man, I step into the shop, and that Barbie the Welder is like Tony Stark putting on the Iron Man outfit,
Mm.
and you put
Yep.
that hood down, and I had confidence, and I started spending more and more and more time in there. But that persona of Barbie the Welder, like when I do interviews, I'm like, I'm just Barbie the Welder. Like, don't use Barbie Parsons. No one knows me as Barbie Parsons. It's Barbie the Welder, because
Yep.
it has built for me. Barbie the Welder has built Barbara Parsons, who I really am.
Yeah.
But that allowed me to see, like, the welding helmet allowed me to see who I really am.
Mm. I just created a vision for when you make the movie of your life, that's where we're watching it from. We're watching the movie of your life from the little rectangle of the welding helmet inside the welding
Oh,
helmet.
beautiful, beautiful.
That's that's what I see, and I totally understand that because you're on the Fixed Ops Mastermind show right now, and over the years that has become my persona, right? It started as a group, as the Fixed Ops Mastermind. It was a group of people that I wanted to bring together, and over the years it has morphed into who I have become. And same thing as you. It has helped me. I don't have a welding helmet to look through though. I
I like his Grab's helmet.
That's great. um can you share of a pivotal moment when you realized you could make a living from your passion, welding art?
Today. Oh, let me think. A pivotal moment. A moment. Listen to me, a moment. More. Mm. I've had so many pivotal moments since sitting down and watching that movie that it has transformed my life. One where I could actually make money. Ah, probably before I even quit my job. Like, what's interesting to me is that money never crossed my mind other than I'm like, I know, like, it's not been my driving force. I never
Hmm.
once go, hey, I can make money doing this. It was, hey, I could do this. Oh, by the way, I need to pay my bills. So let's figure that part out. So the money is, and I've kept it an afterthought. And what's
Hmm.
beautiful is it's become profound. I'm like, geez, oh Pete, man, like, holy cow. Probably, I knew I needed to make money doing it because I knew I needed to do it. Like I needed
Yeah.
to breathe. I needed to sculpt metal. Like I needed to breathe. And so I've got bills to pay. I would have to say before I quit my job, and one of the reasons it was so like I can quit my it's go time because I knew I was going to quit my job before I even took it. The whole reason that I went into welding was to sculpt metal. There was no other like everything I've done in my career has been to sculpt metal. It was
Yeah.
learning the art of welding and fabrication. It's get to that, but the I landed a couple of jobs. A local gun shop needed security windows. Well, they needed a security cabinet. Then an 8 foot, 2 piece 8 foot cabinet with a display window at an angle. Landed that job, and then they also needed the security windows and the bars for the windows and doors. They'd
Yeah.
gotten broken a couple of times up until that point. Not since then. They're safe, just so you know. Like they had a couple of break-ins, and not anymore. So proud of that. I'm so happy for them. I landed those two jobs. It was with one person, right? They're like, "Oh, that was good. Let's hire her again." Nailed the crap out of that, and then I was just like, you know what, I got this. And boy, it was downhill from there because there was nobody. No one else needed this display. Like it was just a couple of like I landed a couple of it was 4 figure jobs. So I
Yeah.
was just like, ooh, jackpot.
Yeah.
And then like then I was like, bartering a 6 pack of beer for welding a step on. I'm not kidding. Welding a step for a camper. Mm-hmm. And I burned through my 401k, which I had cashed in when I quit my job. I had saved up quite a bit of money. For me, it was about I think about 9 months, 6 to 9 months worth of income.
Yeah.
Uh, that like because I knew I was going, but it was just like a thing. But yeah, it was. I burned through that pretty quick and down to 2 figures in my bank account, $35, and a mortgage to pay. So
Boy.
it was terrifying. And I think it wasn't until I quit my job September 1st, 2014, to go full time as an artist. And I don't think it was until about 2018
Mm.
where I knew I could really do like this is really something.
Yeah. Well, this is
January of 2018.
yeah. This is good for people to hear, right? Because they can look and they can see you now and go, yeah, it great. She has a skill, and look at she's
Tracks.
making money from that, right? It's easy. It's easy,
Yeah.
right? Overnight success, and it's been years of struggle and hard work and belief that this is what you were
That.
supposed to do, right? So there's a lot more to it than just having a talent or just seeing somebody at the end of their journey, right? We all need to remember that we all have our journey, and we need to remember where we are on that individual journey. Looking at you now is not the
Mm.
same for somebody who is just starting out, to think that they can be at the level that you're at, right? Even as you strive to go higher and higher.
Oh, they
Um,
absolutely can be exactly where I am. It's patience with
yes.
yourself. It's the patience with yourself with where you are,
Hmm.
and just patience with all of the things, which I
Yes.
have just recently sculpted patience. It's a physical sculpture, but
Yeah.
also as patience with myself. It
Mm.
is that has brought me so much peace. That right there is having patience with yourself and understanding, and that right there and the work ethic. And you do those two things, man, and guarantee you, you could definitely get where I am. And be in love, like be in love with what you're doing. It cannot be doing
Yeah.
things in anger. It's be in love with it, like lovingly obsessed. Put in the work and be patient with yourself. And with those three things, like anything. And I'm telling you, like this is just a tip of the iceberg for where I'm going next.
Yeah.
But like to sit here and just to have that moment where I'm like, oh my god, like, do you understand where you were? Like it's a I have a picture of the tent I used to set up and sell in, and it's redneck AF. It's completely like it's red top. I've got one silver side, I've got one camouflage side, and I've got I think that's a like a there might be two camouflage. Like the tent is just and here I am trying to sell art, and to see that, and then to look at, and to look. I keep that. I've got I think it's like 12 by 17. I've got that in my shop where I can see it. It's something that it is a definitive,
Yeah.
definitive mark. That day was so cold. It rained. Me and my son were so cold we couldn't hardly sleep. Yeah, this and I like to get here where I'm sitting, in my shop every day, nice and warm in South
Yep.
Florida, and I lived in the back of my truck traveling up and down the East Coast
Mm.
with my youngest son at the to and welded live, and welded did a live welding show, and like all the grind that is just you can't see it sitting here, but man,
Right.
like that picture right there is that'll probably be the cover of the movie.
There you go. That's how it starts.
Yeah, that was man. Looking back over, and I think that's an important thing for people to understand and also to recognize is like, um, when you're like me, I'm news to the grindstone. I'm constantly like done next, done next, done next. It's look up and look
Hmm.
back and look at how far that you've come. Like
Yeah.
debut with this podcast and looking back and like just hearing you say like it started out as a mastermind,
Hmm.
like look at how far that you've come and what you've created since then, and that celebration of the journey that you have
Yeah.
gone on. I think it's so important to celebrate that and
Hmm.
to just remember that, like remember how hard it's been, remember how far you've come, but also
Right.
give yourself grace as you move forward. It's like that, like where I am today is going to look like that tent in another 10 years from now.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just like that, and maybe it's a year from now because things have been speeding up. Slow is smooth and
Yep.
smooth is fast. And I've
Yeah.
slowed down a lot in what I'm doing,
Mm.
and just the obsession has changed as far as where I'm putting the pressure of the obsession,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
It does. It does. And what advice would you give to someone who wants to turn their unconventional skill or hobby into a full-time career?
Go for it. Go for it. I'm a and listen, and your results may vary. Let me just start this off with your results may vary. This is my experience.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't have a plan B. I did not have any other option, and I knew that this was where I was supposed to be. It doesn't make sense to anyone looking from the outside, and there
Yeah.
was a tremendous amount of noise, and you will hear noise from the
Hmm.
outside. It is so important for you to stay true to who you are inside and what you know is right for you, as long as you're not hurting anyone else. And there might be people, like my mom and dad were hurt, and like this is a subjective thing.
Yeah.
My mom and dad were super hurt when I quit my job. They were deeply disappointed. They weren't mad, they were disappointed.
Yes.
And so it is so important for you to as a human being, and this is for anything, it doesn't matter what you are doing in your life, to stay true to that inner voice, for you to listen to self, for you to shut out all the everything else that isn't your true voice, and for
Mm.
you to listen to that. If you know something is right for you, even though it doesn't make sense to anyone else,
Yep.
it is so important for you to follow that. I had no idea where I was going or what I was going to do with it. I just knew I needed the sculpt. I didn't know what my next step was. I knew the first step was learn to weld. First step. And
Yep.
so it is just go after what is the first logical thing that will get me to being a metal sculptor. And I didn't know I was going to be a metal sculptor. I just knew I wanted to do whatever it was that that woman was doing. I didn't have an artist name for it. It was just do that thing. And
Yep.
so the first logical step, learn to weld, get rid of everyone else's voice and just listen to self. And just, there are going to be people who aren't going to understand, especially when it's unconventional, especially when, my mom and dad, the only thing they wanted for me was security. And I had finally, for 5 years, at this welding job, they thought I was going to stay there for forever. And like, oh, that's where she's going to retire from. And like,
Mm-hmm.
but wait, there's more. And so I had to ascend my own judgment of what are you thinking,
Mm-hmm.
and also their judgment of what are you thinking,
Yeah.
and stay true to self. That is just such a thing. Work hard, work smart, be thoughtful in what you're doing, but you have to. As a human being, I think it's just I think this is where depression comes from, is when we don't listen to ourselves. We depress ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And the minute you just let go of that and just stay true on what you feel is right for you, you
Yeah.
have to work at it. And I guarantee you that if you don't stop, because this is the only way you quit, or the only way you fail is when you quit.
Quit. Yeah.
The only failure comes when you stop trying. If you don't stop trying, you can't quit. You can't fail. Or not, you can't quit. You can't fail.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you stay on course until your objective is achieved,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's no failures here. I failed my way to success. I had a lot of stuff that did not work.
Yeah.
I'll pivot, 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 and then just keep going. But if you know something is right for you, then just stay the course until you achieve it. The fear behind failure is such a beautiful gift. And this is where people won't start. It's like, oh, what if I fail? I hope that's terrifying for you, because that's motivation. That's
Yes.
the fuel for success. When I had $35 left in the bank, I had no income, I had no ideas on how, just nothing. And then like this opportunity for a show, like I had paid $50 to go and set up at this show. I had one other show I set up at with my janky awning. Just looking back at that, I'm like, people are gonna like catch something coming in here. Like, what are you thinking? Like, oh, like here's a handy wipe. Wash your hands before you leave. Just, yeah, it's delightful looking back. It's just so much
Yeah.
fun to look back. However, that fear of failure like rocked me to my core. I can't go back to my job. Now, I would have been welcomed back with open arms. They loved me, and I
Sure.
left on really good terms. I
Yep.
definitely, like, they were sad to see me go, but I couldn't go back. My kids could not see me not do what I said I'm going to do. And
Yeah.
so I just, like, tightened up the bootstraps and got to work. And it was like, figure it out. And so I go to this event and set up and sell, and I figured it out. It was just like, I have to just,
Mm.
it's the relentless pursuit of dream. And it's just like anyone that's ever done anything that's been anything, it's been that happy obsession and relentless pursuit. and a willingness to do whatever it takes and to shut out the noise, the world will like unfold for you. It's the universe will ask you again and again, how bad do you want this? Do you really want this? Are you
Yep.
sure that's what you want? You have to show up. Oh, goosebumps. You have to show up again and again and say, I want it. I want it. This is mine. This is for me.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. I
Yep.
want to be paid this much money. I want that, I want that contract. I want, and like, and trust me, there's just so much in between that, like that little tent and where I stand today. But it is again and again me standing in my power and saying, this is for me. I will stand here until.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. The question will be asked of you over and over and over again, if it truly is what you want, and it's how you interpret that message. Is that message saying to you, it really isn't what you want, so you should go and do something else, or is that message there to get you to deep inside reinforce that this is what I want and this is my path?
Put the helmet down and go to work. You
There you
know
go.
it's what you want if you're standing anywhere close to it. You
That's
know
right.
it's what you want. You know that's what you want. You go after that and you don't let anything or anyone you stand in your way. It's
Hmm.
I want it. This is mine and I'll do whatever it takes with love for self and
Yep.
with love for everyone else. Just and respect because we're not, it's just not a like F you. It is and it's not like an F you. Like I know this is for me. With all due love and respect, I must.
Hmm.
And the universe will, and like you will interpret if the universe says you really want it. A lot of people will interpret that as I failed. Like it'll be like like you get kicked in the teeth and you get kicked in the teeth and then like you get another bill that you didn't expect and then all of a sudden $35 in the bank and you have to step up and say this is not a sign that this is not for me. It's a sign that this is for me because the universe wants legends. It wants legends. It doesn't want like mediocre people. It wants people who because we need this. Like the world needs heroes. The world needs heroes. The world needs people that will stand up and say this is possible, so that everyone else like they just stand up there and shine a light. It's a Statue of Liberty. Like this is where you can be, and it's like we need these legends to stand there so that we can see possibility. And when you have people who live into their truth like that so powerfully,
Hmm.
everyone else sees this is possible. It's the 4 minute mile, baby. Like we
Yeah.
need the people to do the 4 minute mile so we can see it's possible. Because a minute that someone does this, then you've got high schoolers running a 4 minute mile.
Yeah.
People didn't know that this was possible.
Hmm.
This social media is such a beautiful gift for us. And things like your podcast because it shows possibility.
Hmm.
I'm not special. I'm nobody
No,
special. I
no,
just
nor am
I
I.
am you. I'm the same as same as every single person that is listening to this out there. I'm nobody special. I simply just how I've used my time. It's what I've done with my
Hmm.
time, what I've done with my mind, and it's what I've done with my hands. This is for you. And it doesn't matter if you have one hand or no hands, like you could still do this too. Like literally you could still do this too.
Yeah.
It's just what are you doing with your time and your mind?
Hmm.
This is how legends are made.
Absolutely. And so you just mentioned social media. So we'll move into segment three, which is we're going to talk about building your own platform. And so you experienced being deplatformed on LinkedIn after gaining over 30,000 followers, and I was one of those followers, and I was watching the journey of you of you coming up, and then you just disappeared from my feed one day. And I never considered that you were deplatformed. I figured you went another direction, right? Deleted your account and moved on to something different. But how did being deplatformed like that affect your business and the rest of your online presence?
Well, I'm going to start off with saying it's definitely my fault that I got deplatformed. They did give me a warning and I didn't take it seriously,
Hmm.
but it made no sense to me. So my LinkedIn name was Barbie. Look at this is where my LinkedIn name goes.
Yep.
Isn't that my LinkedIn name was Barbie the Welder. I didn't
Yep.
have my government name on there. They
Yep.
told me that I need to put my government name on there. I had 90% of my business was coming from LinkedIn.
Mm.
And so because no one knows, and because that's my power, right? Barbie the Welder is my power. I
Yeah.
want Barbie the Welder. That is my artist name. That is my business name. And that is the name I want out there. I don't want to. It's confusing if you go to this platform, it's this name, and it's this platform, it's this name.
Absolutely.
So LinkedIn did warn me not once, but twice. And then I really didn't think it would happen.
Yep.
However, it is my fault. So
Hmm.
I'm so sorry. But also, it didn't make sense because it is a business platform.
Yep.
So I know how to do it differently now. I was PO'd. I was really PO'd at myself because 90% of my business was coming from LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So it definitely hurt. I pouted for about a year, I think it was, and then decided that, and LinkedIn is one of my favorites, and it is it's not even the business. Even if I wasn't doing that much business there, it's the conversations that you
Yeah.
get on LinkedIn are just, I missed the conversations.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and Pinterest. I love social media. I love each different platform brings a different energy and
Yeah.
has a different, it just has a different energy. And
Yep.
I am definitely someone who, well, I'm energy. And so I love the variety. I'm Aquarius. I'm like, I love the variety. It just feeds like all the different, I get to go in and wear different hats on each different platform. It's
Yeah.
brilliant. Um, I love LinkedIn, and so I'm almost at 3,000 people. I've been on there. I've been back up now. I think since January. I think
Wow.
it has been, and so in that time, and it'll grow. It'll grow back up. It'll be way bigger, and like
Yep.
things happen. Like it's viral. It's under Barbie the Welder Parsons. It's my like if you go to like linkedin.com/, it's like the OG Barbie.
Yeah.
Like they won't let me like, and like I can't even get to my business page. So like the Barbie the Welder business page, it's on LinkedIn. They won't let me connect to it. So
Oh
I'm like,
wow.
it's just, yeah, I don't know how to. I probably need to get a lawyer for this or something. And
Hmm.
I don't want to. I want it to just
Yeah.
be like, this is mine. It should be like, I've earned these followers. I should have those. I've earned the respect of people. People want to see me. And
Yep.
it's the principle, but however, like life isn't always, like business isn't always about principle.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how to fix that part. But social media has been profound in business,
Yeah.
and I'm deeply grateful for every platform, and I'm super grateful to LinkedIn. Like even though that happened again, it's my fault. I'm like I got to go back in and go, dude, I'm sorry. I mean, like I could have had 30,000 and 33,000 followers by now had I,
Yep.
followed the rules, and that's like
Sure.
can't get mad. Can't get mad at that. It's just like, okay, man, like you really did that to yourself, and you got to go
Mm-hmm.
back to work and go figure it out.
Yep.
And what's beautiful is everything happens for a reason, and the best gift is this. My other LinkedIn page, I was building it based on welding, which I'm a welder. However, my business looks exponentially different today, and I'm building it as a luxury brand
Mm.
today, and it
Yeah.
speaks to a luxury brand based on craftsmanship and fabrication.
Yep.
And so it is a gift beyond all gifts because it's the opportunity to go back and take that red tent, which the red tent's wonderful, right? It's like that's what got me here. However, it's just given me this beautiful gift to, as an artist, go in and create something new.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And so, in the light of that experience, what strategies have you employed to maintain a little more control over your brand and your audience?
Ooh, understanding who I am at my core and staying like this. as a human being, we have a brand. It doesn't matter if you're an artist or not. Like, it's a, my fiance has a brand. It's like everyone just has their, it's like who they show up as. And it
Mhm.
goes back to the more true you are to who you are, what's important to you, what really just floats your boat, that the more you are yourself, the more natural you are, the more natural you appear,
Mhm.
the easier it is for people to connect with you because they feel it. It's authentic. That's what I'm looking for. It's authenticity. It's
Yes.
that. The more you're authentically, the more you're authentically yourself, it tracks. And so understanding, like I had a realization. I was sculpting the sculpture named Patience. The last sculpture I finished, the Sad Angel. Her name is literally Patience. It's on purpose that her name is Patience. I was sculpting Patience, and as I'm going through, and I've got, 100 and some odd feathers for, individual feathers, hand cut, hand ground, like
Mm.
just, and I'm like sitting at the bench, and I'm just like, how can I make this go faster? How can I hurry up? How can I? And it just like it dawns on me, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me! Like, and like this is like the human journey, and
Mhm.
it's so all of us, right? It's just
Yes.
so all of us. I'm like, how can I do this faster? And I'm like, you goofball, you are sculpting patience. And so I had this, epiphany of, and this quote comes from Navy SEALs: "Slow is smooth, smooth is fast." It's in their weapons training,
Yep.
um, and it is slow down and look at the details, get the details perfection, and in that is where your speed will come. And so I realized I didn't need to speed up, it was slowing down. And it was like the most, that was probably, I've just had so many moments like this in my career that has blessed me, but that one was
Mm.
so profound. And it is just
Yeah.
slow is smooth, smooth is fast. It is slowing down and centering self on what's really important. And that's the details. And when you get those details, it's honing your craft. It's honing self. It is craftsmanship of self. And with that, all things will just transpire exactly how they're supposed to. But it's that craftsmanship of self and those paying attention to those details. Everything else just comes from everything else just comes from that.
Mhm. I love that. And I think that's a perfect place for us to step off here. Barbie the Welder, this has been an incredible conversation that I know people are gonna truly enjoy. Um, Best place for them to connect with you. Obviously, we want them to connect with you on LinkedIn to get those followers back up there. Um, but
My fault.
I got the same warning too. I don't remember what I had my name as, but I get the same warning, so I
Uh,
understand. Again, grateful for your time with us, and everybody head over to LinkedIn and make sure you follow uh, Barbie the Welder Parsons. Um, and for everybody out there, we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Don't forget, you can go sign up for my newsletter on my website, barbiethewelder.com. That's a great spot. You can learn about the books that I've written. You can learn about the sculptures that I'm currently working on, a lot of behind the scenes, and where I will show up for an unveiling.
Awesome, we love it. Again, grateful for your time.
Dave, I'm so grateful for you and for your listeners. And thank you so much for taking the time and wanting to get to know me. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you for all your hard work in the industry. I'm so grateful for that. It is
Thank you.
people like you that are champions for our industry that just make it absolutely what it is. And that is a wonderful place to thrive and grow.